This is day 69 in my 6-mark challenge for AQA GCSE Science. In the run-up to the GCSE exams, I'm posting a new 6-mark question each Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So even if you've already gone through all of the actual past papers, you've still got some more opportunities to practice. You can find a link in the description below to each week's questions and also the playlist with all the videos where I go through the answers. Here's today's question. The figure below shows a simple electric motor. The length of the wire in the magnetic field is 400 millimeters. The potential difference across the battery is 12 volts. The resistance of the wire is 2 ohms. The length of wire experiences a force of 0.36 newtons. Calculate the magnetic flux density between the magnets and give the unit. This calculation in this question comes from section 7.2 on the motor effect, but specifically from section 7.2.2 on Fleming's left-hand rule, and that means it's a higher tier only question. So if you're doing foundation tier, this one is not for you. What makes the calculation even trickier is that to answer it, you're going to need to stack together 2 different equations from the equation sheet. It's a good idea before you start to use the units by each number and any other clues in the question to identify what quantity each number represents, because this is going to help you to identify which equations you might need to use to answer the question. Our ultimate aim in answering this question is to calculate the magnetic flux density, so we know right from the start that the equation we're going to want is this motor effect equation. So we know that we're trying to figure out the magnetic flux density, which is measured in Teslas. So then in order to calculate that, we're going to need to work out what the other quantities in the equation are. So we know from the question that the force is 0.36 newtons, but the current we've got an issue with, because nowhere in the question has it given us a number in amps or has it said the word current. So we need to think, well, what other numbers have we been given and how could we use these to calculate the current so that we can then put it in? Well, what we have been given is a resistance of 2 and a potential difference of 12. So if I look on my equation sheet, I can also find the equation V equals I times R. So I know that potential difference divided by resistance is going to give me current, or I could do this by substituting the numbers in, that would work too. And so 12 divided by 2 is going to give me 6 amps. So that 6 is going to go in place of the I in our original equation. And then for the length, we have been given the length, but we've been given it in millimeters. And as we know, in order for this equation to give us an accurate value, we need that length to be in meters. So I'm going to divide by 1,000 to give me 0.4 meters. And I've just written it to 2 significant figures here because everything else is to 2 significant figures, so I don't really want to go down to just 1. So I can then say that 0.36 is B, the value I'm trying to calculate, multiplied by 6 amps multiplied by 0.4 meters. And then I could either simplify that and work that way, or I could rearrange. So here I've rearranged, but either way it would give me the same answer, which is that B is 0.15. And of course it did tell me I needed to give the unit, so I'm going to write T for Tesla at the end of that. This question obviously isn't going to be level marked, it's going to be a case of do this one thing and get this 1 mark. So let's look at what the 6 marks are actually for. We get 1 mark for converting the length from millimeters into meters. We get a 2nd mark for using the potential difference and the resistance to calculate the current. We get a 3rd mark for substituting all of those values into the equation. We get a 4th mark for rearranging. We get a 5th mark for our final answer. And we get a 6th mark for the unit. I'll be back again on Monday with a more descriptive question from Biology Paper 1. Don't forget that there's a link in the description below to all of the questions and also the playlist containing all of the videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again on Monday for day 70 of our 6-mark challenge. If you did find this video useful, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more GCSE Science revision videos coming soon.